Now, here are the top stories for today. Kenya exported its first oil on Monday yesterday amid pointed speeches by local leaders asking the government to stick to its commitments to share revenues from future shipments equitably. The oil had been stacked at the Kenya Petroleum Refinery's storage facility in Changamwe, having been transported by road from Turkana. Now, of course, this leaves many questions unanswered, such as how the country will benefit as there is no public production sharing contract showing how the 1.2 billion shillings will be shared between the Kenyan government and the joint venture partners.
Kenya exported its first crude oil on Monday amid pointed speeches by county governors asking for revenue for future shipments to be shared equitably. Although commercial production is years away, the discoveries have heightened expectations that citizens, especially those living adjacent to the deposits, will benefit. President Uhuru Kenyatta signed a long-awaited petroleum bill into law in March that regulates oil exploration and production and outlines how revenues will be shared between the government, local communities, and companies.
Kenya's grand march to oil and gas production and export has now begun. The flagging off of this maiden consignment represents a new dawn, not just for Kenya, but also for our region, and the beginning of a new era of greater prosperity for all Kenyans.
The law is required for large-scale production, but was delayed by tussles between the layer of government and residents of Turkana, the impoverished north region where the oil deposits are found. As the first shipment left Kenya's port of Mombasa, 3 governors, an oil executive, and the president all compared carvings up the profit to share a goat.
$2 billion invested to date. So I hear some discussion about, I think it's a goat, and maybe having spent $2 billion, the joint venture partners will be able to get a little bit of that goat. But there's much more investment to come, which will create jobs across Kenya.
Tullow Oil estimates that Kenya's Turkana fields holds 560 million barrels of oil and expects them to produce up to 100,000 barrels per day from 2022.
Indeed, as we proceed to the full field development, we will ensure that local communities are major beneficiaries of these resources.
Mining and Petroleum Minister John Munyes said approval to pump water from neighboring West Pokot County to prioritize oil wells have been granted.
We need to actually discuss with the counties, the 7 counties, to deliver on land, because we need a pipeline. That work has already started.
The deal is crucial for next year's final investment decision on proceedings to commercial production. Kenya's Monday shipment was 250 barrels of oil. The crude is trucked to the port since there is no pipeline. Tullow and its partners, Africa Oil, discovered commercial oil reserves in Lokichar Basin in the northwest county of Turkana in 2012. Total has since taken a 25% stake in the project.
Of course, now the debate still continues on reviving the Changamwe oil refineries, and that is still a topic of discussion as we go along. But moving on, Kenyan coffee farmers are set to export 5 million kilograms worth of specialty teas worth 7 billion Kenya shillings to China in the next 3 years under a deal that the state is negotiating with buyers from China. Now, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kionjori said the export volumes will increase to over 30 million kilograms annually, with an estimated value of 40 billion shillings in the next 10 years. The opportunity, Mr. Kionjori said a quality sample submitted highlighted a need to have the right kind of machinery and technical expertise to manufacture Kenyan teas that meet Chinese tastes and preferences.
I believe our partnership with regard to the tea industry will be of mutual socio-economic benefits. I also note that our partnership is much broader, particularly with respect to the agriculture sector, but also in other sectors of the economy. It has been the desire of the government of Kenya, through my ministry, in collaboration with other state agencies, to pursue enhanced tea trade, and in particular, to access the China market for multi products from Kenya. This desire was born out of the realization that China is a leading buyer of teas from external origins, where Kenya is a renowned producer of top quality teas. During a recent trade mission organized by the Tea Directorate, the Kenya team met and engaged the chairman of Benny Tea Company, one of the largest tea importers and distributors in China.
Right, now moving on, the construction of an 11.5 billion industrial park at Ruiru will be completed by early March next year. The South African developer Improvon CEO Stefano Contardo said this. The new industrial park will be called Nairobi Gates. It will be located in the upcoming Northland city. And now the heated debate around the discussions today which form the question of the day, is how can entrepreneurs create jobs with the oil exploration in Kenya? How can entrepreneurs begin to create jobs with the oil exploration in Kenya? Tweet us to @TV47KE and @Lucy_Riley with the hashtag DaysCounterKE. Now, a repeat of the question of the day is, how can entrepreneurs begin to create jobs with the oil exploration in Kenya? How can entrepreneurs create jobs with the oil exploration in Kenya? Tweet us to @TV47KE and @Lucy_Riley with the hashtag DaysCounterKE. Now moving on to the Business Voices segment, where we have notable key speakers giving their opinion in various industries. Today we have CS of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Mr. Mwangi Kionjori. Now Mr. Kionjori had an average childhood and upon graduating collected his savings and bought an old lorry which he used as a public service vehicle before Mishuki rules, of course. Now he doubled up as a driver and a tout. He later became the youngest MP at 28 years of age, and the rest is history. Let's listen into what he has to say about the agriculture industry in Kenya.
This is private sector engagement, and therefore we are clearing. Definitely there are rules of engagement for any international trade. Those ones will be adhered to, but they have not put any stringent condition that you cannot meet. In fact, they are very fair on the restriction that have been discussed. So we are okay. And you see, they are in specialty teas, okay? And you need another day where I can now take you through what is specialty tea. For example, what you have today, we are selling the black tea in the market. We are opening other markets, and these are the missions that we have been sending out.
Right, very interesting and insightful, especially speaking about the opportunities that there are in tea and specialties. Now, welcome to the business news. And in the business news, new data shows that manufacturing, cement and banking companies listed at the Nairobi Securities Exchange recorded the highest investor returns as a proportion of the equity investments. Now, the NSE's manufacturing sector had a median of 30.47, while cement and construction had 17.90 and banks 15.49. The banking sector has the highest median yield of 5.11%, followed by utilities and downstream oil sector, which had 4.78% as at August the 16th, I beg your pardon. The agricultural sector had a median of 4.3%, while the highest yield of 15.4% coming in from Williamson Tea. Now moving on, Mobi Keza was developed with the youth, Juakali artisans and workers in micro, small and medium-sized entrepreneurs in mind, and has unmatched capability of convenience in onboarding, tracking and access of funds all through the mobile with access to 3 types of investments, namely Ustawi Fund, Hakika Fund and Usawa Fund. This is a new innovation digital pension plan that gives workers in the informal sector with an inconsistent income a flexible platform to save for their retirement. Now, the product has an added unique advantage of allowing a contributor to make ultimate deposits and periodic withdrawals via USSD or an app. Take a look.
Our view was to bring retirement benefits to the local Mwananchi, because we have over 13 million people that are working today, over 13 million people working today in this country. But we have just about 3 million that save for retirement, save at all for retirement, even for NSSF. So we have almost 10 million people that don't save a thing. But they're working, they don't save a thing. Now, unfortunately, we say we don't have enough to save. There is nothing called enough. It doesn't exist. Even when you go to US and ask my friends in US, they say, Fred, we don't earn enough. We're having a serious economy problem, we can't save. When you go to UK, the same story. So when you come to Kenya, the same story, and I'm saying, where is enough? Enough doesn't exist.
I'm also pleased to announce that we are partnering with our other financial sector regulators with a view to putting in place a regulatory sandbox regime where new pension innovations can be piloted and tested before a full rollout. And the reason that we are talking about partnering with the regulators is because, like I said, we see bundling as critical to these products, and therefore the products that we see coming will have insurance aspects, they will have maybe credit aspects, investment aspects, and so on. And therefore, there's need for a coordinated approach amongst us as regulators. So the industry has continued to grow. I think as of December, we saw that we had assets of 1.2 trillion, despite a lot of volatility that we have seen in the markets over the last 2 years. This year, we're still expecting to see a very good growth in the industry. I think as products such as Mobikeza come on board and others, we are going to bring more Kenyans in, and that's going to lead to growth in the industry. I think the recent changes that the Cabinet Secretary, Treasury and Planning implemented to further extend preservation of benefits, so as to include 100% of employer contribution, will also contribute to growth in the industry, but more importantly, while ensuring that members, when they reach retirement, have an adequate benefit. So they don't have to come to Fred and start asking him to assist them with their Harambes and so on. They will have saved enough and they will have enough money at retirement.
Yes, yes. Some people are very surprised. Come on, let us give it up for Mobikeza. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now unveiled. Poleni kwa mshtuko. One more time.
And we certainly heard their voices when it comes to saving for retirement. And today we are here to launch a digital micro-pension solution, which has been actually as a result of research, prototyping, as well as testing to make sure that it fits the need of this population. The solution is dubbed Mobikeza, as you can see. And it's an in-house innovation with unmatched capability, which has onboarding, tracking, as well as access of funds capabilities, and is aimed at meeting the informal sector. It's targeting actually the youth, the jua kali, as well as micro and small, medium-sized enterprises. When we did our research and also in terms of feedback, we actually went to the informal sector, the Gikombas of these markets. We went to also people who run boutiques, who run the borders of this world, to just try to understand what they are looking at in terms of the investment environment. It combines both the pension as well as saving aspects within it. And it also, this is very critical as well, because then if you have a saving that it doesn't have investments, it doesn't have a return on it, then probably you may be in the wrong footing. At the same time, it has the pension features, which has been embedded in it. We have also embedded a post-retirement medical saving plan within the product, because we understand that as you save for pension, which ideally would be for consumption in retirement, you as well need some money to take care of your medical in retirement. And that is in line with the RBA Retirement Benefits Authority regulations that expounded the offering of the pension savings to also accommodate for post-retirement medical.
All right, that was in tech, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Now, moving on, it takes more than creativity and patience for one to become a great painting artist. Now, Ben, it took him a decade to master the art of painting, and since then, he's never looked back. Vanessa Ndavi with more on that story.
A decade ago, Homegrown Art Gallery was born, and each day brings forth a new picture in mind. Ben is a certified carpenter until when one of his clients requested for portraits after purchasing his furniture. That made him want to venture in this business, and since then he has never looked back.
Vision yangu nilianza kuimake 2006. Nikisema nikipata ka capital nitafungua workshop. So sikukuwa na plan kama ya showroom nini, lakini kuget tu kukuwa na workshop. So later nimefungua hii duka 2010. Na ikawa vile nimeoperate kama 2 years later, nika-adapt ile story ya framework. Nikaona naweza fanya natural frames. Nikuwe na uzianga wasanii juu sasa niko na wasanii kama wengi, sio zaidi ya mtu kaa 10 wenye bado wanasomea, wengine wanasoma bifa, wengine KU. So ikawa nimeona ndio nipatange do upande yao, niunde pia natural frames niweke kwa gallery. So with the time hiyo stock ya frames ilishika kwa shop. Ikawa kuna sasa wale clients wenye wananunua furnitures na wanakuja wanaanza kuniuliza mambo na portraits. So nikakuja nikaangalia, wakawa wananiambia tunataka portrait. So kuna clients moja alikuja kakanunua coffee sets.
It took Ben 6 months to attain a certificate in carpentry, and thereafter he ventured into the furniture manufacturing business.
Background mimi upenda art. Na nimekuwa na mabeste wengi sana wa kuchora. So wao ndo waliniinspire kwa art. Na kwa vile mwanaume ana nini, vile mwanaume ana growing na vision. So before nifungue hii duka ya furnitures, nilikuwa napenda art. Ikawa niko na hiyo vision, ikawa napatananga nao wase wa kuchora, nikifanya hao wase wengine kwa mashops zao kujenga hizi furnitures. So kazi yenyewe ya furnitures nilijifunza 2003.
Ben is a resident of Githurai here in Nairobi. However, since he opened his first gallery in Kahawa, he seems to find his way back in Kahawa each time. When we asked him what really brings him back here, this is what he had to say.
Juni place yenye imekuwa imenilea muda mob Kahawa hapa Wendani. Unaona kama mimi sijajifunzia Wendani, nimejifunzia side Githurai na nakanga bado huko. But hata nikipiga maway, nifanye kazi Ngong Road, nifanye kazi Mbasa Road, hizo workshop zingine, mwisho yani kazi inaishanga huko, lakini narudi tu Kahawa. So nikikuja Kahawa uanga imeni maintain, ndio homeland yenye inakuanga na toolbox yangu.
Like any other business, challenges are inevitable, and these are some of the challenges that Ben has endured over the time. In the art business, clients are minimal. However, one might be lucky when they get that one client who is willing to spend a good amount of money. An artist is able to sustain himself and provide for his family.
Sipati mnunuaji ati daily, naweza fungua hii duka hata iende a month bila kuuza kitu. So changamoto ni asiuzi daily, unaona, na balance na hiyo yenye inapatikana, hiyo yenye naipata na balance tu. So unakuta kama ni angle ya kutaka kuendelea ni grow haraka, inanichukua muda zaidi kupiga step fulani juu ya hiyo income flow iko lower, unaona. Juu unaweza kuta maybe nimesell maybe 2 asset in a month, ama nimekosa kuisell, ama pia saa zingine hata nimesell kama 3 asset in a month juu isitoshe hiyo duka yangu vitu watu sema ni XP but not XP juu quality yenye na perform ile quality ya Mombasa Road.
Ben had this advice for those with gifted hands like him.
Ningependa kuambia vijana, kazi sio ati haiko. Kazi iko, lakini kabla ufikie ile yenye unaitarajia, unaanza na kale kadogo.
It takes more than creativity, patience, and the right skill to succeed in the art business. Despite all the challenges, many youths seem to venture into the art business. Vanessa Ndavi, TV47, Kiambu County.
Right, thank you so much for that, Vanessa Ndavi. And as Ras Ben actually says, kazi ipo. Anawaambia vijana kuwa kazi ipo. Now, let's actually take a look at how the Kenya shilling is performing against other currencies before we take a break. Right, thank you very much for staying with us. We're about to take a short break, but a quick reminder on the question of the day, and do keep your comments coming in. We have, how can entrepreneurs create jobs without with the oil exploration in Kenya? How can entrepreneurs create jobs with the oil exploration in Kenya? Tweet us to @TV47KE and at Lucy_Riley with the hashtag DaysCounterKE. Now, right after the break, we'll have Graduate Enterprise Academy, a very vibrant team joining us to talk a little bit more when it comes to entrepreneurship and training. I'm sure you don't want to miss that. Do stay with us.